backyard, and I'm here to talk to you about what to do if you're experiencing any kind of chest or shoulder or low back pain, any kind of strains. Maybe you have an old injury, maybe you're just coming off surgery, I don't know. Whatever the reason is, if you are struggling to do any kind of back squat or overhead press or anything where your hands are up here, because of one of those three areas, there's a certain setup and a certain apparatus you can use to completely negate those issues and get an awesome workout in.
So while landmine setups are a great way to work your shoulders, the problem is you press way out in front of you. This pretty much only activates the front of the delts and your pec muscles. So by switching to a Viking press attachment, you can get a full range of motion. You can see I can get my head through much easier, which activates the rear delts, creating a nice full range of motion. I can even switch to a neutral grip if I have really bad shoulder mobility, and this is going to greatly help.
So that's pretty much the gist of it, guys. If you have shoulder issues, the landmine apparatus can be really good for that. And for those with low back issues, a landmine setup in general is really good, but I still prefer the Viking press apparatus for a variety of reasons. For instance, working legs. A lot of people like to do what's called hack squats with a barbell, where you get it up here, and you kind of lean back into it, and you squat. And this is great for developing quads, and it takes all the pressure off your back, because instead of a weight being on your back, or instead of being here overhead pressing a weight and having all that weight bear down on you, the weight's up here. So all that pressure's that way. All that pressure's in the bar. It takes very little, if any, strength from your low back to do these exercises. My big problem is, if you're someone who's trying to seriously get a good leg pump, good training, you're kind of limited on the weight with a traditional landmine setup. That Viking press, with it on your back, you can load more weight. And, there's different tricks you can do to load it differently. You can buy different stands and whatnot, but I just prefer the Viking press. It allows you to do a little bit more weight, a little bit more versatility than just a traditional landmine. But it's, either way, a landmine setup in general is really good for shoulders and low back. But add that Viking press setup and you will be gold. All right, guys, so using a traditional landmine setup is fine. It has some limitations, but using that Viking press along with it really adds another layer to it that you can use to take all the pressure off of your low back. And when I said chest issues, if you have like a strain in your chest and it flares up every time you do some kind of press or squat, using a landmine setup takes a lot of the pressure off of your chest because of that angle once again. So just by changing to a landmine setup with a Viking press for 2 or 3 weeks, or until your shoulder or chest or back feels better, or just adding it in for those supplemental exercises instead of, some of the other ones that put a lot of strain on our body, putting those into your routine can really help with the recovery aspect. And of course, if you don't recover, you don't make gains, you don't get anything. So I will see all of you in the next video.